So lately I've been shooting a lot of video footage of this frame rail. 90% of it nobody will ever see, and it's all kind of like, which video do I actually publish, what sections of video do we use and what don't we use. So I am going through and shooting a lot of video footage because I want to explain to people what you're getting when you take your car into a shop, a restoration shop, or what. I don't even want to say that. Be cautious, people. There are companies out there that are going to do work. Maybe they're doing the work down to your budget. And quite possibly that might mean that, yeah, you're saving money, but are you really saving money? Maybe you're saving money, but in 10 years your car is going to have a lot more corrosion than it did when you took it there in the first place to have it repaired. Let me. I can't do that. Okay. So what you're looking at here, you can see here on the edge of your, not the edge of your screen. Pardon me, I'm holding a tablet and not doing a very good job. Okay. This is the original jacking point. It's still on the car. Somebody purchased a second one and put it on as a cap over the old one. Now, by sandwiching that many pieces of metal together, it's allowing a lot of oxygen and moisture to get trapped in between these multiple layers of panels. And yes, they did seam seal the heck out of this thing, but that doesn't matter. Oxygen and moisture have a way of creeping up into there and continuously rotting out those panels, and they're extremely thin at this point. Now, this work was done 10 years ago, and you know, it's just going to continue getting worse. The customer's already spent more money than he wants to have to spend. And in fact, I mean, when the car came into this shop, it was actually in primer. We were told that all the sheet metal work was done, and unfortunately, it just wasn't done well. So this is a problem. He wants to keep this car. It's his baby. And how do I break it to him that, you know, your car still has a good amount of rust? We don't know what's underlying that jacking plate, but we know there's corrosion under there. It's just a matter of how much is under there.
We're back on the MGB here again. We have all decided that we are going to go ahead and fix this and make this car right. So at this point, I'm just trying to decide the easiest way to remove this cap from the bottom side of the car here. And you see the line I've made there in the jacking point. I think we're going to cut it there. And then we're going to have to come up underneath here on the bottom of the floor pan there where everything's overlapped, and we're going to have to figure out how to remove all of that. What's going to be the most efficient way to get that done? And we're going to have to remove this cap all the way back to this point right here. So as soon as I figure out how to do that, I'll update again.
Go ahead. So we've come up with the idea that we're going to replace this panel, and Jason started going through that. And if you watch the floor pan real cautiously, just stick it in there and like pry it, move it back several times. You see the floor pan flexing. So the floor pan really is not connected to that brace very well. What the hell? Fucking jokes. We've decided that we're gonna veto everybody. We're pulling this cap off. We're gonna take the whole assembly off. We're gonna buy a brand new one and repair it the right way. And really, you know, if my name's going on this car, we're gonna do it the correct way. And we're gonna repair the rust and make sure these panels are welded together properly. How about that? So I was just gonna try to be a sarcastic jackass and make a comment about taking out an extra piece of metal that didn't belong in here, and I started prying on it and then realized, oh, this is the inner rocker panel right here, and it's not connected to the exterior rocker panel. That's brilliant. That's fucking genius. Jason, do you have comments? Or are you just completely dumbfounded?
I'm speechless. Yeah, I'm not really surprised, really.
I'm like, wow.
At least use a little more seam sealer, so.
Yeah. Bonded together a little better, yeah. I'm really like, wow. You are supposed to weld the sheet metal together to make it, cars stay together, would be nice. So basically, so far, we found that the floor pan here was not connected to this panel, and the outer exterior, or excuse me, pardon me, the tablet shake, the inner rocker panel is not connected to the exterior, or the outer rocker panel.
Oh, I think I might have found a spot weld.
Oh, you think? Oh, good. It's only 10 inches back. What is that, 12 inches? 10, 12 inches? Oh my goodness. Oh, you lied to me. It's back. Oh, look at. Okay, right there.
A foot.
About a foot back? Yeah, great. One spot weld, 12 inches back. I love finding work like this. The sad thing is, the owner of this car just paid to have the exterior rocker panels repaired at a different shop, and it's the shop that I picked this car up at, and I'm very unimpressed. Very unimpressed. Sorry to say that. So. I don't see a rivet. All right. Is there a rivet in there?
I haven't found one yet, but
No.
sure not what it needs.
But it looks like there is a patch panel right here that somebody inserted underneath all that. So from, let me get my finger back in here, right here to right up there, I think there's another piece of metal in there. It's in a couple different pieces, and you can see what Jason's getting in there and prying. You can see where it's, as I was saying a little while ago in another video, this was done very recently by another shop, and really unimpressed. We've used the plasma cutter, obviously. We need to clean all this up. We're gonna weld the floor pan here to this piece of metal, because right now they are not connected at all. The inner rocker panel is not welded to the exterior rocker panel. So, like, I can take my finger and pull down on that. This is fucking hack work. And this was just done. The owner of this car just paid to have all this work done.
Sad part, these are new parts.
Yes, they are new parts. Those braces are new parts. I know the outer rocker panel's new, and I believe the inner rocker panel's new. And okay, in the Moss Motors catalog, if you purchase the outer rocker panel, inner rocker panel, the jacking plate, plus all the braces, and I think this one panel right here that the floor pan welds to, I believe that kit is $420. So roughly you have $420 worth of materials on this car, and we're hacking it up. And we're gonna buy a new jacking plate. It's already been ordered. It should ship out of Moss Motors today. We're gonna clean all that up, fix what needs to be fixed, and put a new plate in there. And get rid of this half-inch gap that there was. So, for a much cleaner, better looking appearance on the car. If you look in here, there's hole, and where are the other two? I can't see them in the lens.
Here.
Okay. All right. So where his hand was, there's 3 holes, and those holes should be for the alignment holes for where the fender goes. But the holes in that black panel do not line up with the holes in the shell of the car. And if I scroll around here, pardon this, but we have a hole, where is it? Right there, over there, oh, right there, that's it, where the X is.
That is why it's a bad idea to leave extra layers of sheet metal when you're replacing panels.
Yeah, exactly. Extra layers of sheet metal throw off your alignment. There we go, we can see Jason has been applying Master Series Master Coat to this inner rocker jam. So it's now sealed from oxygen and moisture. So it should be good to go, and we're not going to have any rust issues in there anymore. If you can look down in here, you can see, it's kind of hard to see, but you can see 2 different layers of metal in there, and that's the old rocker panel and the old inner rocker panel sheet metal that the chucklehead left on there. He left the old metal in place and then just put the new metal over it. And it's why it's throwing off. If you have body alignment issues, that's probably why. It's not how you do it. You're supposed to take the old metal off. So we've test fit the new panel sitting up there. It's going across the back of the car. It's that black thing. And we've tested that. It's pretty close. We have to do a little bit of hammer and dolly work, and it'll fit just fine. Okay, so Jason came to get me, and this is the final view just before he goes to make it solid and permanent in the car. He's a little upset with himself, though. He didn't leave enough room for seam sealer. So he may have to redo this. And as I come down, oops. Nice and tight. See how the metal actually touches each other? That's incredible. Now when we weld the panel, well, the way you weld the panel in, let me spin around a little bit here and I'll find the panel, and we're gonna make a plug weld. Okay, so each one of these little holes is gonna be a plug weld. And what you do, you don't weld the black metal. You don't weld the outer skin is what I'm telling you. You weld the metal behind it and then allow the weld, like we're using a wire feed welder for those, we're doing MIG welding, wire feed. So all this wire comes through the spool, comes out the tip of our gun right here, comes out that tip, and the wire will fill in. I'll get my hand back in the shot. The wire will fill in that hole. So you're adding metal, extremely hot metal, that's melting this black metal and this other metal right here. It's melting them together. So, but you don't do it from the outside in, you do it from the inside out. That's how you're gonna get a good permanent weld. All right, here we go. We have a fully welded in panel. The plug welds about every 2 inches on the, with my finger in here, on this plane here, about every 2 inches. There's more in some areas. And then same thing we have, we'll get the finger in here, finger on this plane here, there's more welds. So see a few of the welds around there. It's all welded up here in front. From here, the next step is we got to clean the whole bottom of this car again, because this process has taken a number of days, but basically we have an entire weekend in there, and Jason's wife's getting ready to have a baby, so he's been busy. So it's been more time than what we expected it to take. We're gonna clean the bottom of the car, and we're gonna shoot Master Series Master Coat on here. And we'll let that sit for 3 hours, and then we're gonna put the monster liner in here. So I got a lot of work ahead of me in the next few days.